Yeah.
Knowing how to get it, nigga, I'm just saying though. Shoebox full of hundreds, got them bands, ho. It be a whole lot of flex with my team ball. Big shit popping off on the scene small. And if you really want them bands, gotta focus, nigga. Got no time trying to sit around and coach it, nigga. Knowing how to get it, nigga, I'm just saying though. Shoebox full of hundreds, got them bands, ho. I wait gram from gram trying to decipher. Hit my beam with a test and I'm hoping that she like it. You wanna sniff that knot, hoping you get back and smell it through the rap. And you knowing you can flip that. Bitch, I'm Picasso, yeah. Honcho, nigga. Honcho, burritos, tacos, flip those. And make more than we get more. Jack boys lurking, so you know with that capo.
What up, though? OG Kenny G_Kenny at Retired from the Streets TV. Welcome to another rendition of Retired from the Streets TV. So I'm in VA, right? So listen, when I got to VA, you got to remember what time frame this is, right? It's late 90s. Last year of the 90s, actually. It's 1999 when everybody swore the world was going to end. So we just knew, like, at the end of this year, it's possible that this prediction is coming true. This is a heavy conversation in the Michigan Department of Correction, as well as the Virginia Department of Correction, where they had us at. Went down there, got a whole new inmate number. Up here in Michigan, my inmate number, if y'all want to look it up, 261159 in Michigan, right? In Virginia, it was 271597. Still remember that, even though I didn't have it but for a few months, right? Now check. What I'm saying about this time frame is you got all these young dudes coming from the streets that's on the tail end of that 90s, mid-90s flow when all the gangster rap started going crazy, when all the hood movies was going crazy, Menace to Society, all this stuff had dropped when we was young enough, you know what I'm saying, to it where it had an impression on us. Menace to Society, Boys in the Hood, you talking about South Central, Colors, New Jersey Drive. You got all these Wild Belly. All these movies that came out in the early to mid-late 90s, right? That 10-year period from 90 to 99 or whatever. So think about the mentality of those movies and all that music that we grew up off of, that G-Funk era, that Death Row era, the Rough Riders numbers just coming out. You got all this gangster rap influencing us, these young dudes. So you got a lot of dudes that's coming from the streets to the penitentiary, right? Being locked up for the first time, in trouble for the first time, away from their families for the first time. And they thinking, just like I used to think when I first touched, that the way you moved in the streets, you're going to be able to apply that same type of pressure in the penitentiary no matter who you're around. It's true to a certain extent. You can do it. It don't mean you're going to be successful all the time, right? And then you got to also think that you got dudes who really learning how to be men in these situations. For the first time in their life, they have to fend for themselves for the most part. Sure, you can call home, get a little money, this, that, and the other, but your day-to-day livelihood and survival in a lot of instances revolve around you being solid and being what you say you is, right? So I meet this dude named Fat Cat. Young dude. I think Fat Cat, he from the outskirts of the city, Ecorse, Pontiac, some damn where. Him and his little young crew, little young wild dudes, right? When I'm locked up for riding around with a body or two in the truck. You understand what I'm saying? Now, you think when you hear this type of information and whatnot, and you getting this in the back of your mind about these type of people, that you're gonna think that type of reputation, they're gonna live up to it at least some way. You thinking that at least 40-50% of them is solid, right? What I found out fast, man. And this situation that I'm about to describe is where I found out fast that no matter what you say you about, I had learned a lot of that stuff already with dudes that was foo-foo in relationships with boys, messing with, it was a lot of that. I'm like, dog, that's crazy. So I started learning how to watch around people anyway, even my own brother, man, who was saying it was my Muslim brother. I still had to watch him. I'm watching these young dudes. I'm seeing how they play too much, and they start gambling. Dude had got a hold of some dice. They playing CeeLo, 4, 5, 6, so they in there head cracking for days. Invited me in a couple of times. I'm like, I'm Gucci, because I didn't even gamble in the streets. So whatever my habits wasn't in the streets, I didn't adapt no new ones when I got to the penitentiary, for real. So what I'm saying is, I'm watching them get and transferring all this money from sale to sales. Appliances being exchanged. Dude holding your TV for a week or two, right? All of this is going down, and it was a synergy at first. It was smooth. Until one day, my man Fat Cat come to me needing to borrow something. I'm like, what you need? He like, I need to borrow the 50 ball. I got you. I'm gonna give you some interest. I'll throw you 75 back. I'm like, so when he come to me and he asking for the bread, I'm like, you about to gamble with my money, bro. I mean, you know, if you gonna gamble with my money, I need some, you know what I mean? What you call it, some collateral. So what he do was he go get this tape player that he had ordered from down there. Nice boy too. It was one of them, a Sony. And most people had, I forget the name of the ones to give, but he had a nice Sony boy, and he gave me his tape collection. He had some dog tapes. Back then, you gotta think, this is '90s. We still got we didn't have all the MP3s they got now in the penitentiary. We had tape player. You had your Walkman. You understand what I'm saying? And you had you a whole box of tapes, like the old school. So he gave me his tape collection. His which was, I'm telling you, heavy. He had heavy stuff in that bad boy. All the R&Bs, he had some dogs. All the Ushers, R. Kelly. So he gave me probably about 100 and something worth of tapes. Easy. 200 easy. Probably. Yeah, you got to think. Yeah, you got about 150, 200 worth of tapes and a Walkman. Long story short. I'm like, all right, we can do it. We'll give him a little hook up. So he's like, I just want, I'm going to give you the 75, but that's just, hold you down. I said, all right, bet. We do that. Relationships start building. So I'm dealing with bro. He putting it in other people's hands though, like the dudes he dealing with. His young dogs kind of, because they're a little younger than him, and he was like the dude who had the rep for riding around with the, So, anywho, the whole thing was I'm seeing how much money these young dudes is changing. They ain't doing nothing with it. Ain't my business, but y'all blowing it. Y'all getting tree and all this other stuff, and y'all buying spud, juice, and all this. So it's like I'm trying to give them a little insight. Don't want to listen to me now. When I say younger, I'm at the time about 22 or so, 23, going on 23, going on 24. These dudes is like 18, 19, 21, right? I think Cat was like, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Young, and they was young-minded more than anything. So when I'm seeing the activity and I'm trying to give them the game, they don't want to listen to me, cool, because I'm a lot more mellow. But one particular day, I forget the young dude name. They used to be with Cat, little stocky dude, man. This dude end up going and gambling on the yard though, right? But what he doing is he gambling against money he don't get. He gambling against the confidence that he had in the winning streak that he was hitting in the unit, but with the same dudes. So when you get out on his yard and you're dealing with dudes from different locations, different levels of gambling expertise or experience, right? They cracking his head. So he bet bad. They're like, you straight, bro. Listen, we gonna want our money, right? Excuse me. They tell him, like, we gonna want our money. He like, I'm good. My man's got me. So Cat like, yeah, he's straight. He got money. He's, he not vouching for him as far as I'm gonna pay his debt, but like he know what he doing. He's straight, So about a week later, we on the yard. I see him on the phone. Me and Cat rotating with another couple of dudes. Young white dude from Ypsilanti and another dude from Pontiac. So we walk in the yard, kicking it. His man on the phone. He keep calling back. So he on that boy. He frantic with it a little bit, like, Cat, hey man, why don't one of y'all put me through? I need a call made. Like, who you calling? A little regular conversation, asking, inquiring, who you calling? What's going on? Why you been over here about an hour, it seemed like, trying to get on his phone. He like, man, I need to make a money transfer, bro. He's like, because old dude and whoopty whoop. Cat like, bro, I told you, don't, I got you when you got what you supposed to have and your book's good, but I can't be. This is what I do. This is how I make my money. Ain't nobody sending me no money. I'm in this boy. I'm about to do a bid. I need all mine. He like, you go home in about 2 or 3 years. You need to be tightening up, bro. I can't be doing it. You got to get through to your people. He tried to put him through himself. Tried to make a call for Doggy. It ain't go through. I even tried to make a call for him. I even sent the message to my mom, like, hey, call his people for him. Woo. They end up sending a message back to one of Cat's people, like, hey, tell him we not sending him no more money for this gambling and stuff. Whatever he in there doing, we just sent him $250, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dog, this ain't my man's. And anything we do is transactional. It's just like, whoa. I mess with your homie. I know he good. If he ain't vouching for you, I ain't giving you nothing because that's a bad look. Cat didn't give you nothing. He was done with dog. Listen, man, we go to the yard. He pleading with these dudes. Dude just started firing bro up, right? Cat jumped in it though, but dude just gave him about 3 or 4. Young dog tried to charge in. Fat Cat then ran up, had to put dog in the headlock. Like, dog, look, man, look. We'll work it out. You ain't gonna put your hands on my man though, niggas, because he had 2 other dudes trying to run and jump up in there. this my thing, right? All I'm doing is following protocol. I see dog and them got the situation under control. Cool. Now if had been like when Cat was in trouble, that's my dog. Now I gotta step in too. So with that being said, I ain't had no obligation to be helping. You know, financially or otherwise, unless my man was in trouble. That's protocol, right? Because I don't want to get my brother man nothing else and all this other crazy stuff that don't got nothing to do with us. Bam. My whole point with all that is dude had to pay the dudes double what he owed them, which probably was like $100. So that's a $200 situation you got yourself in. And the only way you got saved because your man who they know would take care of his business kind of stepped in and vouched for you, but said, I ain't going to pay it, but dude, you got to pay them back and you got to make that good. And he ended up having to pay them. And he was paying them damn near the whole time he was down there. It's like every store he was bringing them something, if not the whole thing. Keeping some coffee and peanut butter and some little basic stuff like that. But you talking about like, bro, that what they call ASS betting or betting on ASS, like you got to understand, man. Like, I pray none of you ever get into the penitentiary setting. If you ever do, understand that's one thing you do never not want to get involved in. And go back to the episode I say about the 5 things that you don't want to get involved in prison, the 5 G's, and gambling most definitely is one of them. You understand me? Because if you don't know what you're doing, if you ain't got the bread to back yourself up and you ain't sure, don't go in there playing with the people's money. Because it could have turned ugly on the yard that day, and it did. Thank God, you know. Thank God it did, man. And I ain't never touched the gambling scene. Never. It wasn't my thing, and I just don't like. I like a sure thing. I wasn't good at gambling. I liked something that was for sure, like running a store. Somebody gonna come and buy these products. They gonna come and borrow some of this stuff, and I ate better like that. So I love y'all, man. Thanks for tuning in again. Thanks for bearing with me. Been a long week already, man. Dang. I'm talking about this just got started. It's been a long week. OG Kenny, O_G_Kenny at Retired from the Streets TV, and I'm out. Ha.